on the title of You Can Do It. John Kirshner.
How many of you have gone sailing, where the wind is blowing through your hair, the spray is hitting you in the face? Well, any good sailor will tell you that in order to maximize your forward progress, you must keep the sails full and maintain an even keel. But the sea, much like our lives, is volatile. The winds can change. The seas can get rough. But in order to maximize our progress, we must, despite our circumstances, maintain an even keel. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests, I have found in my life what works best for me is to put God first, always. I learned a long time ago that God is God and I'm not. As I put faith and trust in Him, He always puts things in place for me. Sure, I struggle from time to time, dealing with life's challenges and hardships. But as I spend time with Him every day through meditation and prayer, He always helps me find a way to get through them all. Now I know what you're thinking. You're sitting up there all high and mighty, but you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know that I was abused as a child, that my wife just left me, or that some other great tragedy has just befallen me. You don't know. To that I would agree. I don't know. But what I do know, what has worked for me in the past, what continues to work for me to this very day, is to acknowledge the fact that I cannot carry life's burdens by myself. I need help. Let me share with you some of the less than encouraging words that I received following my accident. After being in the hospital for about 4.5 months, just before I got discharged, a nurse approached me and said, "Now don't get used to all of your friends coming and visiting you when you get home. They're gonna go on with their own lives. They're gonna have adventures, go traveling, and have stories to tell. And well, quite frankly, you're not gonna have any stories to tell. You're not gonna have anything in common with them." I said, "Lady, don't ever become a motivational speaker." Because you are terrible at it. But as I reflect on her statement, I realized she was right. I don't have a lot of things in common with most of my friends. Most of my friends have never gone skydiving. Most of my friends have never gone scuba diving, or traveled around the world, or built their own company. But through the grace of God and all of His blessings, I've done all of them and a whole lot more. You're probably asking, how did this all come to pass? Well, when I was in the hospital, contemplating the sheer miracle that I was alive, I vowed right then and there that I was going to show my gratitude to everyone I came in contact with by doing what I do best, making them smile and laugh. You can imagine on the spinal unit just how much stress and emotions that the patients were going through, trying to cope with their newfound disability in life. Many times the nurses would come into my room in tears, as if they were carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. It was very important to me to make them feel better, to make them smile and laugh, and let them know how appreciated they were. Typically, a patient would get a shower once a week, and all the other days, a bed bath. Consequently, I got a shower every day. And not only did I realize that I was getting some extra TLC, but I found that those blessings were being carried on to all the other patients, as if the nurses were floating from room to room as they continued on their rounds. You remember a previous speech that I made, that I said there are certain things in life that we have control over, and there are certain things that we don't have control over. You all have a very special and powerful gift inside of you. The power to make people feel good or to make them feel bad. Choose to make people feel good and get ready to receive your blessings. All too often, we focus on the things that we don't have as opposed to the things that we do have. One night, I was out to dinner at a particularly elegant restaurant. I happened to notice a woman at the adjacent table who was blind. She was very gently running her hands over the flatware, caressing the tablecloth, and even feeling very gently the centerpiece. And as she was smiling from ear to ear, she exclaimed just how beautiful it all was. Well, I was taken back by this. I have my eyesight, and yet I didn't realize any of that. Her appreciation opened my eyes. We must all pay attention to the very, very many blessings that we have right in front of us. Don't let a day go by that you don't claim your blessings. And how do we accomplish that? By blessing others. Mr. Toastmaster.